Hello, matriculants. So today's poem is First Day After the War by a proud South African poet, Mazisi Kunene, who has obtained his Masters in Arts and Zulu Poetry. Let's get into it. So looking at our title, First Day After the War. The word first tells us it is the start of something new. The words the war, it makes us think of conflict, the word war. Things of unrest, and in our case it is referring to the apartheid era that we experienced in South Africa for a very long time. In line 1 we heard the songs of a wedding party. So in line 1 the sounds of jubilation, relief and happiness, triumph even, are heard. A celebration of South Africans' democracy is taking place, and it is compared to a wedding party. So we have our first figure of speech, and that is a metaphor. Line 2. We saw a soft light. The words soft light in line 2, it tells us this is a dawn, this is early morning or a new beginning, obviously metaphorically speaking. So in lines 1 and 2, the use of the pronoun we that is used in both lines are used to ensure the inclusion of the reader in the action or in the ideas being expressed in the poem. Line 3, coiling round the young blades of grass. So the word coiling makes us think of perhaps a snake coiling around its prey. So the words soft light coiling, the light that is protecting the youth, is compared to the coiling of perhaps what you'd expect to see when a snake is coiling around its prey. So here we have another metaphor. It is being compared to a snake coiling itself. The words in line 3 further on in the line young blades, the use of the words young blades, if you think of a blade of grass and young, the word young, it could mean it's representing the new generations that came after the apartheid era, so post-apartheid. In line 4, at first we hesitated, then we saw her footprints. So who is her? The bride? When they are referring to a wedding party? Is it in a literal sense? No. In our case, it's more likely the poet is referring to the new nation in a metaphorical sense. The word hesitated refers to the fact that democracy brought about feelings of uncertainty, doubtfulness, as it was all new to the citizens of South Africa, especially those that suffered under the laws of the apartheid era. So looking at lines 5 to 8, her face emerged, then her eyes of freedom. She woke up with a smile, saying, "What day is this that comes suddenly?" We said, "It is the first day after the war." So looking at line 4, the word footprints, as well as here in line 5, her face and then her eyes, it is almost like a gradual unveiling of some sort. The one you'd expect when a groom takes the veil slowly off the face of the bride to reveal her beautiful face on her wedding day. The words footprints, face and eyes, they all tie in with a gradual emergence of something great, something of purity, of innocence. This is freedom, which, as we all know, took a very long time to achieve. So freedom over here is personified as a bride. The line ends with an exclamation mark. So the exclamation mark reflects the excitement of the poet and the speaker, and he wants the reader to see this. In line 6, there's a figure of speech. The word apartheid compared to a very long slumber or a long wait. The word smile in the line, that would symbolize happiness or joy. We smile when we are joyful or happy, or thinking of something beautiful, happy. Then we have a dialogue happening because we're looking at the two inverted commas. The dialogue is happening because she's asking a rhetorical question. As we are all aware, the end of apartheid took a very long time. So though she uses the word suddenly, it refers to the unexpectancy of the day of democracy, the day when democracy would dawn, and it is a celebratory occasion. She symbolizes the new, uninitiated who are removed from the hardships involved, the purity. In line 8, we. The poet identifies the we as those who have been involved within the struggle. Lines 9 and 10. Then without waiting, we ran to the open space, ululating to the mountains and the pathways. So in lines 9 and 10, there's a clear expression to the reaction of the news that the war, our apartheid era, is finally over. Peace and freedom have finally been achieved. The word ululating is a form of onomatopoeia, because it copies the traditional African sounds made at the gatherings to express strong emotion, be it sad or happy. Line 11, calling people from all circles of the earth. We shook up the old man demanding a festival. So in lines 11 and 12, the news is so momentous, all the world must know and celebrate, even the older generations. In line 12, we have the phrase, the old man. It is referring to elders who endured the oppression, or could it be the past government, maybe the president, or is it the new government of the elders? We shook up the old man, demanding a festival. We asked for all the first fruits of the season. So in lines 11 to 13, the ones oppressed are now asking for equality, for the injustices to be addressed, wanting all the promises made to be fulfilled regardless of the consequences. Please note the alliteration of the F sound in the words first fruits. Lines 14 to 18. We held hands with a stranger. We shouted across the waterfalls. People came from all lands. It was the first day of peace. We saw our ancestors traveling tall on the horizon. So in lines 14 to 16, all the world is now present, those involved and those who are unknown, making reference to the word the stranger. They are wanting everybody all around the world to witness the momentous occasion of the apartheid era finally being over. In line 15, the word shouted. Excitement is being expressed here. Even though loud, thunderous waterfalls are nearby, it shows the determination of those who fought for freedom. So they are shouting across the waterfalls. They are making their voices heard loud and clear. In line 17, the words, it was the first day of peace. So we have new beginnings here. We have feelings of expectation and excitement and an end to the war, as the title of the poem read, the first day after the war. So now it's saying the first day of peace. In line 18, we saw our ancestors traveling tall on the horizon. Please note the alliteration of the T sound, traveling tall. And also in line 18, the ancestors are present, and by being present, showing their acceptance and support of the events that have taken place and the celebrations being held. Are they supportive of the future? They are not present, but on the horizon. So in summary, and just to recap, the structure of our poem is a free verse, which simply means it's all in one verse. And this is symbolic of the freedom that the citizens, especially those that were oppressed during the apartheid era, felt. The freedom of movement, the freedom of being able to enjoy a democratic South Africa. There's enjambment, and that is simply meaning there's a continuation of a sentence beyond the line. This poem is structured in the form of a story being told, with a dialogue, much as an African storytelling goes. This is a celebratory poem which places itself squarely in the ambit of Zulu culture and focuses on celebrating freedom that comes to a people after oppression. The war is the struggle for freedom of those who were oppressed. The poem focuses on the celebrations that occur amongst the victorious immediately after the struggle. The wedding is a celebration of a new unit in society that is formed by joining together of two individuals. It is a new beginning. So again, very symbolic of the new beginning of the citizens that will be enjoying a democratic country. The metaphorical wedding in the creation of a new society brought about by the struggle. And the themes covered in the poem are the struggle, that is the apartheid era, the end of oppression, and ultimate triumph. I hope you enjoyed it.